Right now we are going to look at what we call geometry. Geometry is a branch of mathematics that is concerned with properties of space, such as the distance, shape, size, and the relative position of figures. That branch of mathematics that specifically deals with such is what is referred to as geometry. It explores the relationships between the points, lines, planes, angles, surfaces, and the solids. A flat surface, such as the top of a table, is called a plane. When you look at the top of a table, the top of a book, the top of a chair, the top of a floor, all of those are examples of what we call what? Planes, or a flat surface. We call that one a plane. The plane of a wall, the plane of a blackboard, and so on. All of those ones we call them planes. Or in simple terms, we can call them a surface. Under geometry, we have terms or other terms in connection with geometry. We have what we call a point. We have what we call a point. Point. Now, point is a fundamental concept that represents an exact location in space. A fundamental concept that represents an exact location in a space is what is referred to as what? A point. So, examples of a point is when you look at where the edge of a table ends, that is where a point is. Or where two lines meet, they meet at a place called a point. When I draw a line, then I draw another line here. The intersection of those lines meet at a place called a point. So here we can locate where the point is. Where two lines meet is an example of a point. When you look at a box, where the edges of the box meet, that is where a point is formed. So that is specifically how what a point is. Now a point is represented by simply a dot. A dot. When you see a dot, in mathematics, that one we call it a point. A dot like this. That one is an example of a point. So a point is represented by what we call a dot, and you can label it using an letter. I can call it point A, this one I can call it point B. If I have a diagram like this diagram consists of different points. I can have a point here, I have a point here, I can call it this one point D, point G, and so on and so forth. Then we also have other terms where we have what we call figures and then what? Vertices. A vertex. The vertex is the singular name for what we call vertices. The plural is the vertices. When it is one, we call it a vertex. Vertex. Then when there are many, we call them vertices. Vertices. First of all, a figure is a drawing which shows the points, that we are interested in. The figure below simply consists of 4 points, which have been labeled A, B, C, and D. So we are saying a figure simply consists of points that one is interested in. Like if I draw a figure like this, a figure like this one, we can have this one as being the point A, point B, point C, and the point D. These are the points where the lines meet. These are what we call the points. So the whole of it now becomes a figure consisting of points. Then these points, or these lines here, meet at a place called a vertex. In simple terms, I think we can also call a point a vertex. A vertex is where lines also meet. So when they meet, they form a point. We call it a what? A point. So the vertex is the same as a point, where an angle is formed. We also have another term in geometry, which we call straight lines. Straight lines. Straight lines. So a straight line is a continuous infinite collection of points with no beginning or end, which lie in a particular direction. I repeat, a straight line is a continuous infinite collection of points with no beginning or end, which lie in a particular direction. So a straight line can be represented in this form. This is how we represent a straight line. So when we put there arrows, the arrows is simply represent where the line is going. It means that this line is extending to the right and it is extending to the left. On the line, we can have what we call a point. Then we can also have another point there. So assuming I call this one point A, then this one becomes a point B. Point A is defined by what we call coordinates. What we call what? Coordinates. Whereby the first coordinate, we shall call it maybe x1 and then y1. Then in the second coordinate, we have the second value of x, which is x2, and the second value of y, which we call y2. So this is point A and then point B. So both points A and B are lying on a straight line. Still, under geometry, we can look at what we call parallel lines. Parallel lines. So parallel lines are those lines in the same plane that never intersect or which never meet, regardless of how far they are extended. Lines that are drawn in a plane which don't intersect or which don't meet, however much they are extended or however far they are extended, are referred to as parallel lines. Parallel lines are represented by The parallel lines are represented by a straight line, and then with the arrows on them. Okay? Like that. With the straight lines with the arrows. These arrows can be in a opposite direction. That means this line can head there or this side. So we can have this one as line A and then this one line B. So in this case, line A is parallel to line what? B, meaning that line A cannot meet line B. So we call them parallel lines. So we can look at examples of parallel lines. Examples of parallel lines. These are one, edges of a notebook. Edges of a notebook. Then another one, sides of a rectangular window. Sides of a rectangular window are parallel lines. We are talking about edges of a notebook. When we look at the notebook, you can see that the notebook looks like this. Assuming this is our notebook, this is the shape of the notebook, which is in that form. Now, when you look at this line here, is parallel to this line. So this edge here is parallel to this one. Also, this edge is parallel to this edge. Also, this one is parallel to this edge. So those are called the parallel lines. Then also this one is parallel to that. This one is parallel to that. They are equal but parallel. Okay? So those are examples of parallel lines. Then we can also look at intersecting lines. Intersecting lines. Now, to intersect means to meet. Now, when we talk about intersecting lines, we mean those lines which meet each other. The other name for intersecting lines is, we can call them skew lines. Skew lines. This means lines which meet. Like if I draw a line here, then I draw another one here. If this is the line AD, and then this is the line CD, this line AD is meeting the line CD at this point. So those are what we call skew lines or intersecting lines. So line CD is meeting line AD at point O. So this point O is called point of intersection. This is called point of intersection. Point of intersection. Point of intersection. We can look at examples of intersecting lines. The examples of intersecting lines are the lines formed by the corners of a rectangular table. Lines formed by corners of a rectangular table. So assuming that this is our table, if this is our table, this line intersects with this line here. So it means they meet at this point. So they intersect. This one here also meets in, they meet at this point. So this point is what we call the point of intersection. Point of intersection. This one is a point of intersection where this edge meets this edge. So those are called the intersecting what? Lines. We can now look at what we call a polygon. A polygon is a plane figure bordered by 3 or more straight lines. A plane figure bordered by 3 or more straight lines is what is referred to as a polygon. The word polygon is a Greek word. Polygon. So, in this case, the word poly stands for many. Then gon stands for angles. Therefore, polygon means a figure with many angles. Many angles. We have different types of polygons. There are polygons with 3 sides. Others have 4 sides. Others 5 sides, 6 sides, 7 sides, 8 sides, 9 sides, and so on and so forth. A polygon with 3 sides is called a triangle. A polygon with 4 sides is called a quadrilateral. A polygon with 5 sides is called a pentagon. A polygon with 6 sides is called hexagon. A polygon with 7 sides is called heptagon. A polygon with 8 sides is called octagon. A polygon with 9 sides is called nonagon. A polygon with 10 sides is called decagon. A polygon with 11 sides is called elecagon. A polygon with 12 sides is called duodecagon, and so on and so forth. These are special names for different types of polygons. So, for that reason, therefore, our lesson of today has ended here. When we meet next time, we shall look at triangles. Thank you for listening.